I am thinking about bewitching my woman that I was staying with in Zanin because of what she did to me when 30 June came around the corner. I'm going to look for a very powerful traditional healer, the one that will strike him and her best friend, so that they can both suffer. What they did to me, it was really cruel. A man that was considered to be a millionaire in South Africa, I came back to him with nothing after spending 21 years with that woman, and this is how she betrayed me. It is really painful. My advice to other men: if you ever find yourself in a foreign country, even if you find a woman that you love, and that woman, you do not know if she really loves you back, maybe she just wants you to support him financially until she is okay. Never ever betray the woman that you have kids with from your own country, or the woman that loves you from your own country, because eventually you are going to regret it, like the way that I am regretting right now. I used to have two Ford Raptors that I left in Zanin. I wish that I had disabled the tracking unit. I wish that I had given 5 of my cars to some Mozambicans so that they can just smuggle them to Mozambique. By now, I could have had a lot of money, but I thought that being honest in South Africa, it will help you. But this woman, what she did to me on 30 June, when I heard that there were people in the village where I was staying, they were looking for a tire and they wanted to put that tire on my neck and burn me because they said that I had stolen someone else's wife. Mind you, this is the people that I used to be friends with for more than 18 years, that I knew very well, some of them that I even hired, but because of what was happening, they just wanted to take advantage. What hurts me is that I built a house in Tanin which is worth over $1 million, a double store house that I built there in Tanin, and I left everything behind. I left everything in my girlfriend's name because according to her own culture, she used to say to me, "You are not my husband because you did not go and ask for permission from my parents. You did not give them a single cent." Whenever I had money, mind you, we always had money. When I will say that I want to go and marry you so that we can become official, then she will say, "I will do it another time. We still have other financial responsibilities. I am already yours. I'm staying with you. I gave you 3 children. So why are you forcing things? Let us just stay." But when she will be drunk, she will be like, "No, you are not my real husband because you did not marry me. You did not pay me a single cent." So that was the confusion that we had. I called her my wife and she called me her boyfriend, even though we had 3 kids together. Before I had met with my Tsonga girlfriend, she was once married according to their own tradition, and unfortunately they just had a separation without doing or following the procedure that they have to follow in their culture. When they want to divorce, they had a child already together. So when I came into the picture, she was someone that was struggling, she was suffering, but because of me, I encouraged her to do some diplomas that I knew very well that if she do this type of a diploma, she will be considered to be a scarce skill in the government. And indeed, what I told her to study, and I helped her to study, the moment that she graduated, even before she had graduated, she was already seeing the benefits of the diploma that she was studying for, because she was already receiving like job offers where she could go and assist in a certain department that I can't mention. Because of me, she managed to secure a high paying government job, but unfortunately she ended up betraying me. The pain of knowing that you have money in a bank account and then the owner of that bank account blocks the card that you are using, it is really painful. For 21 years, my brother, I was living in South Africa. But on June 13th, I went to the police station by myself, and I was arrested by the police, and I ended up staying in that camp that they had built in Musina for processing. At that time, the only money that I had on me was around 1,000 something. That money was given to me. That money that I had, it was the only money that I had in my wallet. The other money that I had, she locked it into the bank account, because these accounts that we had been using, the business accounts, they were registered in her friend's name, because she is South African, and as the director, she is the one that holds the signing powers, and I was not on the director's list because I did not even have a passport. So they locked the bank account so that I could not even access anything. However, since I am on my way back, coming back to South Africa, Brother Nashi, I want to deal with this woman physically or spiritually. One is going to die. They can't just rob me like this, even though in the company I am not the director, but I was the one that was directing the company. Those two women, they do not know anything. When I saw the video that mentioned the place where I used to live, I said, oh, this is the place where I used to live. I used to live in Giyani before we shifted to Tzaneen. This woman, she treated me in a very cruel way. She blocked all of my accounts, and I could not get the chance to withdraw any money. So I have returned back home with nothing to start over. Speaking like this makes me look like I am the laughing stock of the village, but it is no crime. I have children in South Africa whom I fathered with this woman. The woman that I lived with, I called her my wife, even though she always referred to me as her boyfriend. Despite us living together for many years, we have 3 kids. The eldest one is 17 years old. Now with 3 children, can you really say that you are boyfriend and girlfriend? No, you are supposed to be a husband and a wife, but she was doing all of this because she wanted to be free. You don't know how much this woman, how much I loved him, but she did not value me at all. So she just wanted freedom to date whomever she wanted. I've been through hell because of the way that she wanted freedom as my girlfriend. I ended up catching many STIs that she gave to me, and she would claim that she has found another person that wants to marry her. Then she will go and stay with that man, and she will come back. Even when I would confront him, telling her that I do not want you to continue dating all of these men, we have kids together, then she'll be like, no, you and I, we are not married, so please do not tell me what to do. If she wants to go and drink alcohol, she can go for 2 days, her phone switched off, and she expected me to love him the same. I made a mistake by not stealing the money when I had the opportunity that we always kept in the house. Unfortunately, there were people that came door to door, and the ex-partner, the ex who gave her kids, went around telling people that he wants to be back with his family and he wants me to be returned back to Zimbabwe. And he was saying that the house that this Zimbabwean built, it is going to be mine. He will live in that house with my girlfriend. And it is really painful. We had a business that I was running behind the scenes all those years that I have lived in South Africa. Unfortunately, I never thought of getting proper legal papers in South Africa because I spoke perfect Tsonga. I had no hope of ever returning back to my country. I thought that I had planted my roots permanently in South Africa. So when people said I should return back home to process my paper, I saw it as something that was of an inconvenience. Someone who is driving a Ford Raptor, why would he want to drive back to Zim to start with the process of a passport? I said it will take too much time. We have businesses that we need to settle. So whenever I traveled with my family, I want to confess, and the truth is that I was using a fake South African ID that was not even registered at the Home Affairs. I also had a driver's license that could be scanned, but it was a fake one too. Whenever things got risky at a roadblock, my wife would be the one that will be driving, and I would sit at the passenger seat. Since we looked like a family, even if it happened that they were home officials, then they would not ask many questions. Why would you want to ask many questions? People that are traveling in a Porsche, people that are traveling in a Range Rover, and these are like a family, and you can see that the car is brand new. It is giving rich people vibes. So they would speak with us in Tonga, depending when they would have stopped us. I also can speak Afrikaans with you from morning until we go to sleep. I can even dream in Afrikaans. So if someone will speak with me in Zulu, I'll respond to them in Afrikaans. So no one would even think that this man, he is from Zim. So there was nowhere in South Africa where we could not go for a vacation, but we only traveled in South Africa when we were going on our vacations. Because of that, me and my wife, we used to fight a lot, because my wife will be like, I want to go to Dubai. She always wanted to go to Dubai, but because I could not go to the airport with my fake IDs, I could not even apply for a passport. I would always say, no, let us go to this place, let us go to that place, without leaving the South African borders, because I was tied down. And she did not want to assist me. That is why I never even bothered to return back home to get a passport. She was a beautiful woman, a very big, beautiful woman with a beautiful glowing skin. So the moment that I will turn around, knowing that this woman, she is loose, she sleeps with anyone, but yet she claims she loves me, I would always have these imaginations that once I cross the border, she will find another Zimbabwean man that she will start to stay with. So I did not want that to happen. That is why I always wanted to be around him, and I was suffering for my children that I had with him. But I even suspect that she went to Dubai with her boyfriend, because she always wanted to go to Dubai after seeing her friends go there. Because I did not have real papers to book flights or leave South Africa legally, she constantly complained, saying, you only live once, and living with someone with fake papers, it is frustrating. Eventually, I found out that she was in Dubai. I asked her and I said, I saw a status. What's going on? Why are you in Dubai? Is this real or is it AI? She said to me, that is my own business. You have your own business. Go back to your country. Oh, it was really painful. Basically, the foundation of my relationship was ruined from the start, but still we stayed together. She brought in so many STIs that I can't even count. Just because I was from Zim, she always mistreated me, and she knew that I had no desire to go back to my country because of what I did. So for 21 years, my relatives thought that I was dead. I passed away. I died in South Africa. I lied to them, brother, through my boss that I was staying, that through the boss that I was working for, and some Mozambicans that I was staying with. So the job that we were doing, we were in the construction industry, and we were working for that white man. So we would travel from one farm to another, but we were based in Naibum. I was working for that white man. So when I started dating my Tonga girlfriend, before I had impregnated him, I had a family that I had left back in Zimbabwe, a woman who had given me 2 sons. And when I started dating this South African woman, like, she was jealous. She said that she did not want to share me with anyone. By then, she was still uneducated, no proper job. So she was totally dependent on me financially. Not now. She does not even need me. She told me that I want you to leave your wife back home, because I was enjoying life with a South African woman for the first time. Being loved by a South African felt good. She is light-skinned, beautiful woman, and I felt my wife back home was pulling me backward. I had hopes that if I stayed with this South African woman, I could achieve great things, build a nice house, get married, get an ID, and then negotiate with her so my first wife could come and join us, and then I can have 2 wives. But she used me big time. She gave me a condition. She said, if you want me to help you to get legal papers through marriage, you must first dump your wife. When I tried to ignore her demands, she would suddenly start calling the phone numbers of my wife, telling my wife that she did not want my wife to speak with me anymore. I did not know what else to do. I could not choose. I really wanted papers in South Africa. So I then consulted with that other man that I was working with, a Mozambican guy. He then said, my friend, as Mozambicans, what we do, if we come here to Joburg with the intentions of never returning back to our families in Mozambique, what we do, we just send word back home lying that that person has died, so no one comes looking for you anymore. You can fake your death so your relatives believes that you are dead. So I spoke to him and the other Mozambicans that I was working with, and I said, guys, you speak with my relatives back home. Let us make a deal. I'll give you money. Don't change the story. Just tell them I passed away. We arranged the lie, brother. I talked to the white man that I was working for. White people, they love a worker that does not have a family. Someone that lives on the farm, stays on the farm 24/7. And I was living at the farm. I lied to him and I said, back in Zim, my children, they are suffering. I just want to tell my wife that I am dead, because the kids that I have been suffering for sending all of this money, I just discovered through a DNA that we are not related. I need you to helping me to make it believable. He laughed and he said, you black people, okay, no problem. He acted as if there was an accident that had happened. So my co-workers, they called my wife, and I know that she got high blood pressure and was heartbroken that her husband had fell off from a scaffold at work and had broken his back. And my Mozambican friends claimed that I had been taken to the hospital, and because I had no papers, the hospital was charging me per day. And later on, that was when they called my family and they were told that I had died in the hospital. And because they needed a lot of money, which was around 50,000 rands for my body to be repatriated. And here I am talking about people in the village who had no money to even buy food. So they waited thinking that maybe the government will release my body. A month passed and I told my white boss to call my relatives again to tell them that I had been buried the previous weekend by the South African government. My wife cried according to what I heard. The white man then said to me, your wife really loved you, even though she made a mistake having children with you from another man. But the pain in her voice when I was speaking with her, it showed that she loved you quite a lot. So I then gave myself a task: no social media, no Facebook, until I learned how to create a ghost account. So I use a ghost account right now, the one that I have sent this message to you from. So that is what happened, brother. I lived with that woman from Zanin, and when she got the government job, because of the guidance that I gave him, we managed to make money, applied for tenders. Since she was working in the government, she could not apply or start a company that will have business dealings with the government. So she had one of her friend. This friend of hers was the one that I made her to register a company under her name, and I was a director who was standing behind him. I would be the one that would prepare the documents for the company. We started to win tenders. We started making money, even building schools, government schools. We started driving big cars, expensive cars. Because of that, I saw no reason to return back to my country. So the other thing that happened was that I did not want to build in the village where my wife grew up in, the relatives drama. But she said, no, I want to build in the village where I grew up. I want to build here, live here, die here, and be buried next to my relatives. So I said, okay, it's fine. If you want a woman, if you love her, you need to listen to him so that you can progress in life. So I am the one that built that mansion, contributed a lot of money. I had the chance to run away with the money, but unfortunately, I could not do as such. So right now, I am back in Zim. When I spoke with her before I had arrived at the police station, when I noticed that she had blocked all of my accounts and her friend as well was nowhere to be seen. She had blocked the business account that she had opened up for me so that I can use it for the day-to-day runnings of the business. Before I handed myself over to the police, I spoke with him and she insulted me on WhatsApp before she blocked me, and she said, whose money are you trying to take with you to Zimbabwe? Go back to your country. What kind of a man that wants to die in a country that is not yours? Go fight with your government. If things get better like in South Africa, then come back, we can start afresh. Her words really pained me, brother. I know that she used me, but she was supposed to give me at least something. As someone that assisted her with her education, she was supposed to have at least a heart, a human heart, to have Ubuntu, to just know that I also have the same feelings that she also have. But it is not going to end like this. Part 2 is coming. I am going to a traditional healer. I want that healer that is powerful, that can even work with lightning, so that these two women can tell other people that you just do not use a foreigner to start a business, and then when you get the opportunity, you kick that foreigner out of your life like you never ever benefited anything from that person. Yo, dear listeners, right there was a message that was sent to us by our dear brother. Let us speak with our brother in the comment section. Strange things indeed, they do happen in this world. If you have any confession that you want to share with us, please, you can share with us on TikTok as well as on Facebook. Let us meet again in the following episode.